to read the verdict. We'll go there live. In the meantime, I want to bring in our panel of experts, including our justice reporter, Evan Perez, our law enforcement analyst, Tom Fuentes, the former ATF special agent in charge, Matthew Horace, as well as Paul Cruikshank, who's our CNN terrorism analyst. These developments are coming in fast. Tom Fuentes, first to you. Apparently, according to Pamela Brown, our sources, and Evan, you've been learning this as well, this individual, Mohammed Yusuf Abdulaziz, born in Kuwait, a Jordanian citizen, brought to the United States by his family years ago. There's a picture of him. What does this tell us, if anything, about what happened?
Well, it tells us a good reason for the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force to work the case, because they have the connections and the resources worldwide to be able to do background checks into Kuwait, into Jordan, find out more about him, find out more about the family and other possible connections.
What are you learning, Evan?
Well, foremost in the mind of investigators, obviously, is the ongoing threats from ISIS. This summer, we've been talking a lot about this, especially military facilities. Law enforcement has been, frankly, at the center of all these threats. We know that over the period of months, the Pentagon has increased security at various times because of specific threats to military members. And obviously, when members of the military are back home here in the United States, is when, frankly, they're most vulnerable. They're better protected when they're overseas than they are here, because you could open fire on any of them if they're in uniform or as they're walking down the street. We have a statement that we just received from the Justice Department that we can use here from Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General. She says that she offered her condolences and deepest sympathies to the loved ones of service members who were murdered and law enforcement officer who was wounded. I have directed the FBI to take the lead in the national security investigation of this heinous attack on members of our military. The U.S. Attorney's Office and Department prosecutors are also actively involved. In the days ahead, we intend to work with our partners in law enforcement and the intelligence community to ensure that the American people are protected and that justice is served. Wolf, and the question here now is, what did the U.S. have in any kind of intelligence matters that might have indicated some of this was coming? We know that this suspect was not on the radar before today. So why was that? Was there something that was missed, or was it simply that he was one of these many people that we've talked about here so many times who are sitting at home consuming propaganda from some of these foreign terrorist groups and then decides on their own when to act? How difficult will it be, Paul Cruikshank, for the authorities? They're obviously going through his parents' home right now. We just saw that report. They're going through his parents. They're looking for computers. They're looking for any evidence, social media contacts, what he was saying. How difficult will it be to get all that kind of information?
Well, they'll be looking through all of that, particularly social media, also whether there was any overseas travel in recent months, given the concern about this ISIS threat. ISIS have called for a surge in terrorism during Ramadan. It's the last day of Ramadan today. They've said to their followers around the world that they'll get more rewards, 10 times more rewards in the afterlife if they carry out a terrorist attack during Ramadan. But we do not yet know whether this was an Islamist terrorist. We do not yet know whether this individual had radical views. I think we're going to hear a lot more about that in the hours to come.
We do know that the Joint Terrorism Task Force is now taking the lead in this investigation together with the FBI, so clearly there's deep concern about that aspect of this development. Matthew Horace is a former ATF special agent. He's joining us right now. Take us inside what's going on, that parents' house in Chattanooga right now. What are the authorities doing?
Well, first they need to secure the residence and determine if there are any other devices inside the home, if he might have left booby traps there for law enforcement or other people that might have tried to enter the home. And then they're going to begin the arduous task of searching for evidence and clues to tell us what was in his mind prior to committing this heinous act.
It's an arduous ordeal going through all that stuff in a house. Then they got to go through all the social media, all the computers, the laptops, the phones, and everything else.
Well, Wolf, I've been on search warrants that have taken an hour, and I've been on search warrants that have taken several days. In this case, given the gravity of the situation and the impact, I'm sure that the JTTF, along with the collateral agencies, will take their time, and they will search that house from top to bottom, looking for any and everything that will lead us to why and how this crime occurred.
Is there any evidence, Tom Fuentes, right now? Have you seen any indication that he was active in social media?
No, I haven't heard whether he was or not, but That's what they'll be looking at. Was he? And the other aspect of this is that his house? Is that his real residence?
We know it's his parents' house. We don't know if he was living there.
Well, yeah, where's he been living, recently? With them, somewhere else? And are there other computers, laptops, cell phones, documents, literature, magazines at other locations? And that would be another set of neighbors to talk to, other people that would be associated.
All right. I want to go to Centennial, Colorado right now. We do have a verdict in the James